Hello guys, today we'll solve this problem majority element from LeetCode. So let me make this bigger. Okay, so in this problem we are given an array, and there's going to be this one majority element that's going to appear more than n by 2 times in the array. Here n is the size of the given array, and to solve this problem in O of n space and O of n space and O of n time, we can use this algorithm called Boyer-Moore majority vote algorithm. So this is the Wikipedia page of that algorithm, and here we have the approach or the algorithm that we are going to use. So we start by creating an element m or a variable m to keep track of the majority element, and we are also going to initialize a counter and set it to 0 initially. Then we start iterating through the array, and during each iteration of for the current element, if you take the current element to be x, if I is 0, that is the counter is 0, then we'll assign our variable which keeps track of the majority element to that current element x and set our counter to 1. If not, we'll check if the current element is the same as the majority element. In that case, we'll increment the counter, and if it was not either the case, then we are going to decrement our counter by 1, and after our traversal through the given array, we can simply return this variable which is gonna which is gonna contain the majority element in the array. So this is the algorithm that we are going to use, and let's start with the code. And initially we can set two variables, one to keep track of our majority element, and another as a counter. So I'll call the variable that keeps track of our majority element just to be major, and initially we can set it to the first element in the array, and another counter, and initially set it to 1 because we have already started with the first element. And then we can begin our for loop from the second element in the array, and that's gonna be at the index 1. Now we need to check for the three conditions. The first condition being if our counter is 0. In this case, we reassign our major variable to the current element that we are in the array that we are iterating, and then we'll set our counter to 1. We can increment it by 1 or simply set it to 1. Else, if for the second case, we are going to check if the major variable is containing the same element or the current element that we are at in the array. In this case, we can simply increment our counter by 1. Else, if it was not either the case, we can simply decrement the counter by 1. And after doing all this, at the end of the for loop, we can simply return our major variable. So this should do the job. So I do the job. Okay, there's an error. Oh, I just missed I didn't declare the variable to be an integer. Okay, so now it should work fine. Okay, yeah, so let's submit the code. Okay, so it worked fine. So that's all for this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.